Hello everyone, I meet my idol in Singapore and around Marina Bay Sands. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me. I heard you're the biggest crypto YouTuber in Taiwan, so it's a pleasure to be here.
I always see the videos of MM Crypto, and he developed some very good contents about his trading strategy and his life. So, have you ever accumulate Bitcoin in the last few months?
Yeah, as much as I can. I mean, I don't even have so much fiat left. The money on my bank account lasts like a few days if I'm lucky. So I'm all in crypto, and if I had more US dollar or US dollar tether, I would put it into Bitcoin as well. I was bullish on Bitcoin when it was at 40,000, 50,000. Right now we are down 78%. I'm still bullish, even more bullish. The fundamentals went higher, the price went lower, so no reason for me not to be bullish. Whatever I get, I put it into Bitcoin. It's not recommended for everyone, but that's my strategy.
So do you think Bitcoin have already bottomed out, or Bitcoin haven't reached the bottom of the 2022 bear market?
Well, now it's a little bit difficult to say. I already said when we were at like 17.5, 19,000, I said that is the bottom, so then we went lower, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
I was wrong about that, and we just have to admit it's very difficult to say now is the bottom or not, because you don't know, is there gonna be another exchange, whatever, there are like rumors, crypto.com, this and that, another exchange going down, and then of course the prices will be dragged down also. What is happening with the war? I mean, there are so many different exogenous factors which we cannot really predict and which can bring the price more down. So in terms of that, it's difficult to predict the bottom. If nothing else bad happens, no other black swan event, I think it's very likely that we hit the bottom yet. If we go to the last bear market, 2018, 2019, the stock market was flourishing. No like crazy wars, at least not in the media. There were wars, but not in the media, and no real black swan events happening in terms of crypto. So that's why it was much easier to predict the bottom. These times have changed. Now all we can do is get as much Bitcoin as we can, lean back and wait for the market to finally recover.
So did you think any institutions or exchanges will collapse in the future?
It will always happen. I mean, FTX was not the first one, and Mt. Gox back in the days was the first big one, but afterwards, between FTX and Mt. Gox, that's the names everyone knows. But between that, there were like another 15 sizable exchanges actually going bankrupt, right? BitGrail and this and that, like so many different exchanges, Cryptopia, and we all forgot about them. This happens actually on average every 2-3 months. So it shouldn't be the biggest surprise. Of course, FTX is a big player, that's why it was a big surprise. But in the end of the day, FTX was not the first one, and it's certainly not gonna be the last one. But that doesn't mean that exchanges are bad. They are good actors, they are bad actors, and we have to distinguish. And if any exchange is going down in the future, this shouldn't change our opinion about Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is not really about that. So I'm not concerned about that, but yes, to answer you, I do expect other exchanges to go down in the future. Let's just stick to the good ones and we'll be fine.
In the last 1 year, Bitcoin dropped about 78%. Did you take any profit of your Bitcoin spot?
No, I didn't take any profits. In fact, I'm just like buying more whenever I can. My holding position, so the Bitcoin spot, how you call that, this is a holding position. So if I would be trying to sell on the top and buy on the bottom or like whatever, it wouldn't really be a holding portfolio. So my approach is here to just buy Bitcoin, to get as many Bitcoin as I can with trading, with dollar cost averaging, with investing and so on, or like investing in seed rounds, taking profits into Bitcoin. That is my strategy, and I'm not gonna change anything about that. So to answer your question, no, I didn't take any profits, and I'm never gonna take profits. My Bitcoin are never gonna be sold back into fiat. What I'm going to do is I will buy equity, I will buy gold, watches, houses, and so on, and diversify out of crypto into other real hard assets, but not into US dollar.
Let's talk about Ethereum and altcoin. But how about Ethereum and altcoin? Did you take any profit of them?
Yeah, there I always take profits, of course. Like Bitcoin is my long-term lifetime holding position, and Ethereum kind of as well. But in altcoins, of course, whenever I can, I take some profits, right? If I invest in a private sale or I buy a spot on the secondary market in altcoin, it pumps hard. Every now and then I take some profits, but I take these profits in Bitcoin. So there I have another approach, and the answer is yes. But if I could go back in time, I would have taken more profits, to be honest.
So how you distribute your cash into Bitcoin and Ethereum? How many percent? And altcoin? Maybe I will put 50% of my cash into Bitcoin, and about maybe 45% of my cash into Ethereum, and the others I will bought some very good altcoin. How about you?
I think that sounds like a reasonable portfolio allocation. Right now, it's a little bit risk-off time, so I'm more like 80% in Bitcoin, 75, maybe 75%, 80%, then like 15% in Ethereum, and the rest is in altcoins. So the altcoin portfolio is pretty similar in terms of percentage to yours, but I have more Bitcoin than Ethereum. However, I want to now, where we are hopefully close to the bottom of the bear market, go a little bit more into altcoins again. Now that everyone is selling it, everyone is calling altcoins to be BS, I want to allocate more into altcoins. I didn't do that so far, but I am going to do it throughout the next few weeks, as I am expecting a very dry market phase and a very boring market phase, but I think this is the time to scoop it up as cheap as possible.
So Bitcoin break a very important support in the last week. So do you think that Bitcoin will drop below 10,000?
I don't think it's likely. Of course, if we now have all different black swan events being lined up, a few big exchanges going down and so on, okay, then it's possible at least, but I don't see this happening. The only reason that we even hit prices of like, I don't know, 15.5 or something is because of course, the whole economic situation, quantitative tapering, and of course FTX, right? That was the biggest nail in the coffin for the Bitcoin price. So that is the only reason why we even broke below the previous all-time high of 19,700. Bitcoin was not supposed to do that in terms of like the historical perspective. So if nothing else really crazy happens, and it has to be a bigger story than FTX, because now no one would be surprised anymore about another exchange going down. It has to be a very big black swan event. Other than that, I do not see that happening, and I would actually go into a bet and bet against anyone saying that Bitcoin is breaking below 10,000. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay, so let's talk about your trading strategy. Are you going to catch the bottom of the Bitcoin bear market?
I am planning to make another big legendary trade, right, on Bitcoin. Low leverage, and I'm probably gonna set some limit orders. Maybe I am already at these prices gonna go in low leverage, and then if we break lower, I will put limit orders and lower my liquidation price with that by putting more money in. I know this can be very expensive, but if you hit one of these legendary trades somewhere very close to the bottom, and you can let it rise all the way here throughout the next few weeks and month with a relatively low funding rate we're having right now, then I think it could be a good bet.
I know that you made a lot of legendary trade in the past few years, but I am shorting the market right now, and I think Bitcoin will definitely go lower than the price right now. And my trading strategy is to also go long, but I will waiting for the Bitcoin to construct a concrete bottom, and when the Bitcoin break the top of the box, I will put in a massive Bitcoin long position. Mm-hmm.
What is the resistance you are looking out for?
Maybe it is not present right now, but it will present in the next maybe few months. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it, right? If you want to wait for Bitcoin to break a resistance, whether it's the 19,700 previous all-time high or whatever volume resistance, it's a good strategy, right? Catching a falling knife can be very, very dangerous, but as long as you have enough money to always put in and lower the liquidation price, still a valid strategy. I'm willing to go high risk towards the bottom of the bear market. And I do see your point, it is possible that we go lower, but I think the market needs some very bearish news for this to happen. And of course, we are not in the bottoming formation yet. For that we would need like a double bottom, breaking the neckline. So in no way we have confirmed that it's the bottom yet. So on that perspective, I do agree with you. But yeah, my strategy will be what I just mentioned. It's a very risky approach, but I'm looking forward to it.
Actually, I will set the stop loss before I enter into a position. So because when the price drops very quickly, it is very likely to hit your liquidation price.
Of course, yeah, that is very likely. It happened already before to me.
Okay, that's talking about something is funny. My audience told me that why you always barefoot.
Yeah. I mean, right now I wear like barefoot shoes, but I just like to be connected to the nature, right? And very often I live on islands, whether it's in Thailand, Indonesia, and I just like to feel the ground below my feet, and it feels like grounding in terms of energy exchange. I feel happy with it and it feels good. However, when I'm in Singapore or Dubai, of course, I need something below my feet, because people would just be laughing about me all the time, and sometimes, especially in Dubai, the asphalt is very, very hot.
Do you love Singapore?
I love Singapore. It's like the Dubai of Asia. It's beautiful. It's safe. You have amazing food. It's clean. Good networking. Crypto exchanges are located here. We have Bybit, of course. I really love Singapore. It's one of my favorite places to live at, next to Dubai and of course all the tropical places.
Okay. Maybe we can have a better interview in Dubai next time.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
See you next time, man.